Hey, did y'all watch the NFL's version of the Big 12 the other day on Monday Night Football? Chiefs versus Rams. How many points were scored in that game? 110. I watched it. It was an entertaining game. No defense at all. Looked like a typical Big 12 game. But yeah, will there be more points scored in that game this past Monday, Chiefs versus Rams? Will there be more points in that game or more points this Friday in Morgantown when Oklahoma travels to take on West Virginia with a trip to the Big 12 title game on the line? I'm going to talk about and preview that game in today's video. Texas is also playing Kansas on Friday. If Texas wins, they play the winner of Oklahoma, West Virginia for the Big 12 title. And Central Florida travels to South Florida to try to complete their second straight undefeated regular season. I'm going to talk about those games and all the other rivalry games that are coming up this Friday right now. Hey, good morning, it's Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, and I'm live for you on LouTube today. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate it also. And too, I'm going to preview all the games that are on Friday. Of course, this is Thanksgiving week, so you got a ton of games on Friday and then a ton of games on Saturday. I did an SEC preview video yesterday, so if you're interested in the SEC, check out yesterday's video. I preview all the SEC games coming up this weekend. Today, we're going to preview all the games on Friday, and then on tomorrow's video, happy Thanksgiving, by the way, I will preview all of the Saturday games. Now, it's Wednesday when you're watching this, but I recorded this yesterday, which was Tuesday. So some of these lines that I mentioned in this video may be a little bit off from what they are today if they've changed from yesterday. I normally record these preview and prediction videos the same day so I can get the spreads and the lines as accurate and as up to date as possible, but with it being Thanksgiving, I just had no other choice. So all the Friday games coming up right now. As usual, this preview and prediction video was sponsored by the good people over at betnow.eu. There's a link in the description of this video. If you click that link, it'll take you over there to Bet Now, and they're going to get you set up with all your college football betting needs for the entire college football season. They've even given me a promo code to let you guys use. So when you go over there, make sure you enter the promo code Uncle Lou. That's one word, all lowercase letters, Uncle Lou, and they're going to give you a bonus on whatever you deposit. Good luck. All right, here we go. Now, don't forget, we got a live show coming up today, Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. It's a call-in show, and at the beginning of the show, we're going to be giving away the jersey for this week. I'm giving away a jersey, team of your choice, every single week between now and Christmas. I really appreciate you guys watching and supporting the channel. Everybody that's a member of the Patreon page is eligible to win the jersey, so make sure you tune in today at 3. If you're unable to watch for work or school or whatever other reason, don't worry. I will email the winner later today or tomorrow or whatever, sometime over this coming weekend, and get with you on that. If you're not a member of the Patreon page and you want to join up to support the channel, and hopefully win a jersey, there's a link in the description of this video. Just click the link that says support the channel and win a jersey. It'll take you over to the Patreon page. You can get yourself signed up. Now, we give a jersey away once a month, year round, but because of the holidays, we're doing one per week now through Christmas, so good luck to all the Patreon members. And here we go with the previews. We're going to go chronological order with the Friday games. We're going to start with early games and work the way through the late games. All right, up first at noon over on FS1, you got Texas. The Longhorns traveling to take on Kansas. Of course, like I mentioned, all Texas has to do is win this game, and they're in the Big 12 title game next week against the winner of West Virginia, Oklahoma, which we'll preview in just a second. Longhorns are a 14.5-point road favorite in this one. They're 8-3. Of course, Kansas 3-8. Fired their coach a couple of weeks ago. Have already named Les Miles as coach for next year. Problem if you're a Kansas fan, it's not next year yet. It's still this year. You're not beating Texas. Texas has all the motivation in the world to come out and play a good game here. They have to win, of course, to go to the Big 12 title game. I don't see any reason or way, really, that Texas doesn't win this game. 14.5 points, over 2 touchdowns. You'd like this a lot more if it was 13.5. However, a lot of times when teams fire coaches like this, it's hard to get motivated. Last game of the season, they looked good last week against Oklahoma, but let's be real, everybody's offense looks good against Oklahoma. They put up 40 in a loss to Oklahoma, but again, Oklahoma gives up 40 to Shadows. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to take the Longhorns here. I think they come out hot, looking to click, heading into the Big 12 title showdown the following week. Give me the Longhorns, lay to 14.5. All right, Nebraska and Iowa. Nebraska on the road at Iowa. Nebraska's 4-7. Iowa 7-4. But Nebraska has won, is this right? Nebraska has won 4 of their last 5 games. Hats off to Nebraska. Now, Nebraska was 4-8 last year. You really want to try to win more games than you won the year before when you bring a new coach in if you can, especially when you're a bad team and you're sitting around this 3-4 win mark. You want to try to improve that. This is going to be a tough task here for Nebraska to win on the road at Iowa. Iowa's a 10-point favorite, 12 o'clock on Fox. Iowa, though, lost 3 of their last 4. I went back and forth on this one, and I actually ended up circling Iowa. I'm changing my mind on the fly here. Give me Nebraska on the road. I need the 10 points, though. I'm not convinced Nebraska can win this game, but they're on a roll, winning 4 of the last 5. Iowa seems to be tailing off, losing 3 of 4. I like Kirk Ferentz, too, coach of Iowa. This is a tough one. I'm going to take Nebraska in the 10 points, but this is a tricky one for me. In-state rivalry game. Now, this is the real reason people love this weekend, right? Games like this. Now, this isn't one of the biggest ones, but still it's an in-state rivalry. Virginia on the road at Virginia Tech, 3:30 on ABC. Virginia, a 4.5-point road favorite. They're at 7-4. Virginia Tech, a disappointing 4-6. Virginia Tech, listen, we know Virginia Tech is a young team. We get that. This was expected to be sort of a rebuilding year, but you would think Virginia Tech was past the point of 4 or 5 win rebuilding years, right? I mean, you would think Virginia Tech was the caliber of team that in a rebuilding year, you're still looking at 7, 8 wins somewhere in that neighborhood there, and that hasn't happened. A disappointing season at 4-6. They haven't won a game since October 13th. I mean, that's bad. And that was against North Carolina, the worst team in the ACC. So you lost 4 in a row now. Everything is telling me to take Virginia in this game on the road and lay to 4.5. These rivalry games are weird. You always see a couple of upsets in these games. I'm going to roll the dice here and take a stab that this is one of those games that goes the way people don't expect it to go. Give me the Hokies at home. Give me the 4.5. Oregon at Oregon State. Oregon, a disappointing season this year at 7-4. Oregon, of course, preseason expectations to win or at least compete for the Pac-12 title, and that just hasn't happened at 7-4. But the good news is your little brother down the road at Oregon State is having a typical Oregon State year. They're sitting at 2-9. This game comes on 4 o'clock on FS1, and Oregon is a 17.5-point road favorite in this one. Bright spot of the season really for Oregon State was way back in week 1 when they scored, 31 points on Ohio State. That was a sign of things to come for Ohio State's defense, which I tried to tell Ohio State fan that after week. Like, how do you give up 31 points to Oregon State? They're one of the worst Power 5 teams in America. They didn't want to hear it. Ohio State fan, they blamed it on walk-ons. They blamed it on backups, all this kind of stuff. Fast forward, you're giving up 50-something to Purdue. Maryland scoring 50 on you. Nebraska damn near beat you. Your defense is just really bad. You'll find out exactly how bad it is tomorrow, too, by the way. But anyway, I digress before I regress, I guess. I'm going to take Oregon here. I think Oregon State is that bad, and Oregon is a talented team. Disappointing record at 7-4, no doubt, but I like their quarterback. I like their athletes on the outside. Defense, but the point is Oregon State is just that bad. I'm going to take the road team here, lay to 17.5. Central Florida on the road at South Florida. Of course, Central Florida sitting at 10-0, finally broke into the top 10 in the college football playoff poll, sitting at number 9, jumped ahead of Ohio State. How's that make you feel, Buckeye fan? You're almost as good as Central Florida. Congratulations. But yeah, they're on the road. Well, sort of on the road. What is this? A 15-minute Uber ride over to South Florida? I don't know, but they're a 14-point favorite on the road there at South Florida. South Florida 7-4, 4:15 on ESPN. I have taken UCF in every single game this year and laid the points. They've been favored in every game. I've taken Central Florida and laid the points. I tell you, every single week, Central Florida's looking to prove points, not just win games, right? They're trying to impress the playoff committee. Now, obviously, they're not getting into the top 4 making the playoffs. Zero chance of that happening. But if you're Central Florida and you're trying to have the whole Dumb and Dumber thing, so you're telling me there's a chance, you got to beat teams 50-0 anytime you can. And I've been right with Central Florida way more than I've been wrong this year. Central Florida's been a great team against the spread this season. I'm going to do it again, lay to 14. South Florida's a pretty good team. Now, 7-4 is a little disappointing for them. Most people had them around 9 or 10 wins this year. But again, I'm sticking with my philosophy of UCF, trying to embarrass people if they can to impress the committee. Give me Central Florida, lay to 14. All right, Washington at Washington State. Is this the Apple Cup? Come up with a better name if you can. Yeah, but Washington's ranked 16th. Washington State's ranked 8th. Is that right? Washington State ahead of Washington? Who saw that coming in the offseason? Not Washington fans. Look, it's bad enough that Washington's having a bad year, right? Well, I say bad year, they're 8-3, but the point is, Washington was expected to not only compete to win the Pac-12, right? But to maybe even make the college football playoff. Those were the expectations for Washington coming into the year. So not only have you fallen flat and short of those expectations, but you're looking 8 spots up at your little brother, I guess you call him, Washington State, who is sitting at 10-1, ranked 8th in the country, and has an outside shot, very outside in my opinion, of making the playoffs. I don't think it'll happen. Too many teams would have to lose ahead of them, but the point is, it's got to be rubbing salt in the wound when you fall short, you have a season you're disappointed in, and then you got to look up the road and see your in-state rival sitting at number 8, most likely going to win the Pac-12 this year. That's gotta hurt. But Washington's 8-3, Washington State 10-1. Washington State's only a 3-point favorite here, 8:30 on Fox. I've been saying for like the last month, Washington State snuck up on me, so I'll freely admit that. This is out of the blue to me that Washington State is sitting at this good. Mike Leach, complete weirdo. This guy believes in Bigfoot and aliens and heart machine. I mean, the guy's a complete. I mean, he's lost his mind. They snuck up on me, and I've been saying for the last month, is Washington State really good enough to run the regular season with just the one loss? And by the way, how did you lose how are you 10-1 but your loss is to Southern Cal? Man, you'd like to have that one back, wouldn't you? Yeah, you would. They're a terrible team. One of you not even making a bowl game this year. But anyway, so I've been saying for like the last month, are they really good enough to finish the season with one loss? I don't know. I think they'll lose one somewhere. Well, we're out of time here. I mean, this is the last one. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to take Washington on the road here. Give me the 3 points, but I'm going to take the underdog. Give me Washington. Washington State finishes 10-2. All right, now the big one from Friday, right? Oklahoma on the road at West Virginia in Morgantown. Oklahoma, of course, ranked 6th. West Virginia ranked 13th. Oklahoma's actually a 2.5-point road favorite in this one. They're 10-1. West Virginia's 8-2. This one comes on 8 o'clock over on ESPN. This is a huge game. This game and then the Michigan-Ohio State game that comes on Saturday, which I'll preview in tomorrow's video, probably the 2 most important games of the week, right? Both have conference implications and playoff and national title implications. Oklahoma's defense is really, really bad. I know I spend a lot of time, I mean, this is a trash talk channel. I spend a lot of time sort of needling Oklahoma fans and stuff like that about their defense, but in all reality, Oklahoma's defense really is that bad. And I've talked to a lot of Oklahoma fans. I read a lot of comments from Oklahoma fans. They tend to agree. The defense is awful. Now, they have a great offense. Nobody questions that. Kyler Murray is putting up ridiculous numbers. They've got running backs. They've got athletes on the outside, but their defense is absolutely abysmal. Compare that with West Virginia, who, of course, sits at 8-2. West Virginia has a great offense, too. Will Grier, potential Heisman candidate. Not really sure if he'll make it to New York or not, but the point is he's an NFL quarterback. He's putting up ridiculous numbers. They've got 2 NFL wide receivers on that team. They run the ball okay. I would give the running edge to Oklahoma, obviously. But defensively, West Virginia, a much better defensive team than Oklahoma. If you had to bet your life savings on one of these 2 defenses to show up in a big game, which one would it be? It would be West Virginia. And I was not high on West Virginia's defense in the preseason. I did a preview of West Virginia back in the offseason, and I was hard on their defense. They lost a lot of players from last year. They had some injuries. They had some transfers. I didn't think their defense would be that good this year. I was wrong. Now, is West Virginia's defense elite? Are they Michigan, Clemson, Auburn, Georgia, LSU? No, they're not. But as far as Big 12 defenses go, West Virginia is pretty good and definitely better than Oklahoma's. I also think this is a huge home field advantage for West Virginia. Of course, West Virginia geographically does not fit with the Big 12. So all of West Virginia's road games are across time zones and huge areas, right? I mean, West Virginia traveling to Oklahoma or Texas or something like that is a long, long trip. The reverse is true as well. Oklahoma now has to take this long trip to Morgantown, West Virginia. Besides the travel, the home crowd here is going to be absolutely insane. I mentioned a couple of days ago in a video, if you live anywhere within driving distance of Morgantown, West Virginia, and you're able to go to this game, you should go to this game. Doesn't matter if you're a fan of Oklahoma or West Virginia. If you're a fan of college football, this is going to be an environment that you do not want to miss, especially if this game is close in the fourth quarter. This thing is going to be wild. I will be watching this game for sure on Friday night at 8 o'clock. I will probably even make a reaction video when this game ends, no matter which way it goes. I'm going to be honest here. I don't understand why Oklahoma is a 2.5-point favorite in this one. I think the line is wrong. I think West Virginia should be around a 2 or a 3-point favorite in this game. Offensively, I will give a slight edge to Oklahoma. Slight edge. But defensively, like I said, West Virginia, much, much better. Now, West Virginia's defense is going to have to show up here. I'm not sure Will Grier can win a shootout with Kyler Murray. If this ends up being a game that's in the high 40s or 50s, Oklahoma may squeeze this one out. I have a feeling, though, West Virginia's defense is going to make enough plays in this game, and I actually think that's going to be the key to this game is West Virginia's defense. I expect their offense to play well, but I think their defense is what is going to determine the outcome of this game. I'm going to put my faith in that defense. I'm going to take the home team here, West Virginia. Shout out to my father-in-law, who's from West Virginia and a big Mountaineers fan. I think West Virginia gets it done here at home and punches their ticket to the Big 12 title game. Oklahoma, have fun in the Sugar Bowl. All right, that's it for the Friday games. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget the SEC preview was yesterday, so click back a couple of videos if you want to find that one. And a preview of all the Saturday games will be coming up tomorrow, which will be Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. So I appreciate you guys watching. Live show today at 3, Wednesday, 3 p.m. No live show on Thursday or Friday this week, but I am live streaming the Georgia Tech game for Patreon members. Link in the description. So anyway, thanks for watching, and you guys have a good morning.